Hey everyone, it's 2:03 p.m. East Coast time on Monday the 26th of September, and hope your weekend was awesome. Just want to talk a little bit about healthy coping mechanisms and just kind of dealing with being trans and how to deal with these hard feelings, the dysphoria, the sometimes internalized transphobia, what have you. Just, feelings of frustration and being stuck and depression or whatever you're going through. I've gotten a lot of personal messages recently just really kind of thanking me for my honesty and my frankness and the way in which I explain things about transition, or even just how open I am about sharing my life. And that's why I'm still on YouTube nearly 6 years into my transition, because a lot of people drop off, go stealth, and that's cool, but I think when people see me, especially when they're first starting out, it kind of gives them hope, and they can see that there's a life after transition and as a trans man. And transition is not my whole life. Of course, I still have to deal with trans-related things sometimes, despite having my name and gender changed. Just things like I'm applying for my passport, and I haven't changed my birth certificate, actually, because I was fortunate enough, and by fortunate I mean unfortunate, to be born in the state of South Carolina, and I can only get a card attached to my original certificate. Can't even change the name, saying a sex change has been performed. Like, that doesn't out you. So back to the original idea. I do this to show others there's life after transition, and it's still difficult sometimes. I think people also see me like, oh, you've had chest surgery, you passed, whatever, your family's cool, that it's easy. But I still deal with dysphoria. I still deal with sometimes legal things, just little bumps in the road with things like, the passport. But for the most part, it's okay, and, I want to show that my life has definitely gotten better, but yeah, it's still hard sometimes. I don't want people to look at me and just think like, oh, he's just so happy, he never has to deal with anything. I wish it was like that for me. In all honesty, the first several years of transition are the most difficult, just when you're doing all the surgeries, getting on T and finding a good doctor, and just getting used to the changes, going through puberty, and then all that comes with that, dealing with your family, and now it's settled down, but it's still there. I think also people have gotten disheartened thinking like, oh, it's so easy for him, he doesn't have to deal with anything, or if they're under the assumption that once you get everything done, it never comes up again. No, that still happens, so it's definitely is not like a daily thing, but it's still there, and it's okay. I think we're also supposed to believe that we transition and then everything's supposed to be fine, and you're supposed to be all smiles all the time, and that's not true. It's a very hard thing. It's very hard to reconcile our past. It's hard to not have that socialization and feel like you've missed out on a lot, but at the same time, you can't live in the past, you have to look ahead. But it's okay to say it's hard sometimes. It's okay to say, this hurts, or I'm dysphoric. Even if you're at this stage, even if you're at the beginning stage, it's okay. I was mentioning in a video that I've developed healthy coping mechanisms to deal with these intense feelings, and even I get really stuck sometimes with that dysphoria. And someone wrote me and asked what else I did besides skating to get it out, because in the video I specifically mentioned that I get out and I skate. And he said, he didn't skateboard, so what could he do? And I just had a few ideas, so here they are. He doesn't skate, but there's lots you can do. The first one, just get outside and get out of your head. If you don't skate, that's fine. Go running. Take a walk around your neighborhood. Go biking. I like to bike too. Just get out. And it's hard. Sometimes I'll lay in bed and it'll just be like chains are holding me down, but it's my mind. And it's hard. It's not easy for me just to be like, oh, I'm sad. Okay, I'm going to go walk outside. No, don't think that. I'm not always this able to process and speak like this. I get depressed, frozen up, whatever, like anyone else. So it's really pushing yourself. Sometimes I'll just do like 25 push-ups and just get the blood pumping and just trying to clear my head, because I'm my own worst enemy. I can drive myself crazy with the constant reel of whatever it is, dysphoria, self-hate, whatever it is that you're feeling, sadness. You can really just get to yourself, and the best thing is just get outside yourself. Go outside. If you don't have a bike, if you don't skate, nothing, just walk around. You might like to play soccer, shoot hoops, whatever. Just get out of your head, get out of the house. Second is do something creative. Sometimes the weather doesn't allow you to get outside, or you want to do something else. I've played music most of my life. I'll play the piano, bass, guitar. If I'm really whatever, I'll just go pound on the drums. If you don't play anything, it doesn't matter. Listen to music. Music has really powerful effects on the brain and the psyche and just your mood, and you can really just be uplifted just by listening to music. Also, I like to take photos sometimes. Sometimes when I'm feeling really crappy, I don't want to take photos at all, or I'll find something outside that's cool that I want to photograph. And other times I'll take really like self-reflective pictures and just kind of to try to express how I feel. But you know, it really goes either way. Shoot a film, make a video, get out how you feel. Basically, communication. And that's number 3. Call a friend. Skype with someone, message someone on YouTube, message me on YouTube. I've been writing people back lately. A bunch of people got messages over this weekend, but I have hundreds more unread. If you cannot call anyone, whatever, just write it out. Keep a journal. I actually have a blog that only I see. I just blog my thoughts and feelings and post photos, and it's nice to be able to look back and see where you were. It's always a good thing. Or keep a paper journal. I also have notebooks that I write in, things that do not need to be shared on the internet, or that are just too personal, you know, whatnot. I've always had kind of a personal diary, but it is nice to go back and look. So if you cannot call anyone, if you have no one to Skype with, just write it out. You'll feel 1,000 times better. Sometimes if I'm really anxious or angry or something, I will just write, I am angry about, and then just list things, or I am anxious about, or I am sad about, or even when you're happy, do it too, because, hey, don't just write when you're sad, but I am happy about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if I write what I'm anxious about, suddenly I'm like, whoa, I'm not so anxious about it. It's out of my head. It's not swimming around, and it's just a better way to deal with it. Well, these are just some ideas. I hope they help, and hope everyone has an awesome week. All right, peace. Thanks for watching, everyone.